Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced from AlexMercedCoder.dev, and what I want to talk about today is basically going on a little bit more about the how introduction to Express. And in this video, what I want to do is talk more about a feature of EJS called EJS partials that can really help make it easier to organize like your EJS files. So let's just go to screen share. Okay, so just kind of recap, I'm still working off that same project. Okay, so basically, bottom line, the way EJS partials work is, again, all your EJS templates, or whatever templates you're using, work from the views folder. Now, partials is specifically an EJS feature, although other templating engines generally have a feature like called blocks or also partials. So whatever templating engine you use, you would just learn like what is the equivalent feature in that engine, in that templating engine. But essentially what you can do is we can create snippets. So what we'll do is I like to create a folder called partials. Okay, and then in here I can create partials like a new file, we'll call it head.ejs, and I would like to create like a new file called like nav.ejs, and a new file called like footer.ejs. Okay, and basically here I could put like a head tag, right? And then here, I could put like any script tag. So let's say I wanted to connect from my static folder this styles.css, and here I could do that from the context in here. So I could be like, okay, let's do a style tag. Well, I can't really use emit from here. Okay, so we'll just say style tag, and no, not a style tag. There, link. So I can't use emit. We're good. Okay, and then say like, but it's not styles.css because again, in our particular Express app, the way I configured it is to access something from the static folder, I need to prefix it with /static. So in that case, the way I would express it is I would say like /static /styles.css. Okay, and /static. There we go. But the cool thing about this, and then again, I can link any JavaScript files, jQuery, whatever I want to do, put it all in here. And then what I can do is, let's say over here where I would want to use those EJS files, I might want to put the head at the top. So let's say, if I were to try to turn this into like a boilerplate HTML, so like I put my HTML boilerplate in there, I could replace this head and say instead of writing the head here, okay, what I'll do is I'll use an EJS symbol, so percentage, except here you're going to use a dash instead of an equal sign. The reason is because we're calling like a built-in EJS function, and it's called include. I think it's includes, if I remember right. And then basically what I put here in the quotation marks is again in the context of the views folder. So it should be like /partials /head.ejs. And we'll check this out in a second, see if I got that right. But again, I can do that there, and then inside the body, I could put like the nav, so I can actually just literally copy this twice. And essentially what it's going to do is it injects whatever is inside that EJS file into this file from there. And I can still, in that sub EJS file, still refer to the same variables that I could refer to before, assuming that they're defined. So I'll move this EJS that I had been there before in between. Okay, and then we just put like an H1 here. Oh wait, no, a nav. Nav, we'll put H1, the navigation. And then in footer, we'll put like H1, the footer. Okay, now let me start the server, npm run dev. And now if I go to, or if I refresh this, I get an error. Includes, oh, it's include. I always get that. That's the part I always kind of don't remember right away if it's includes or include. So it's include that file, include. Let's try that again. Include. Oh, there's another include. That's why. here. Okay, and then if I refresh it, and I see it, the reason I knew that was the error, I saw here, and even though I corrected it here, see it's pointing that it's over here on line 3. So I realized, oh, okay, so there's another one I didn't change. Okay, no such file, a slash partial slash head.ejs. So that means my relative, oh, I know why. I think I have to take off this. Because the slash is kind of already kind of there. So let's try that. Yep, there we go. Okay. So weird nuance about the way like templating works in Express. That while most of the time you would include the slash up front, like in this context you do it this way because essentially it's assuming the path of the views folder beforehand. So I just have to kind of express the path after like view slash. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm saying, you know, like it's like dot 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 views slash, and then I would express what's after that. That's essentially what's going on there. Okay. But yeah, but if I go in there, see now I see that everything's red because it's in the CSS, so I know the head is going in there. But if and then I see the footer, so there's the h1 from the footer, and then there's the h1 from the navigation. So the cool thing is I could define like my nav bar in that nav.ejs, so that way so I can have multiple pages, but they're all going to have the same navigation, the same footer, and this way I can have a consistent layout through my website without having to really kind of copy and paste it, because that would suck if later on I want to change the layout of my page, and now I have to like re-edit every file to get that layout. This way, technically, like big chunks of my layout are determined by fewer files, so you can have a much more modular design to your page, which gives you all sorts of benefits. So that's a really cool feature that is in EJS that you can use on top of it, just being able to kind of like use JavaScript, like if statements and for loops in your page, because you can also use if statements to kind of say, hey, does this appear or not? So that's all I wanted to do in this video. I'll leave it at that. I'll see y'all later on.